My fondest memories at Syracuse College of Law comes from my involvement with the Balsa community. The Black Law Students Association provided me with community and connection and the support that you need to get through the challenges of law school. Just having that, know that someone is there with you and that support system made things, that much easier to be able to navigate. I credit Balsa and a couple of key professors to the reason why I was actually able to earn the degree. There was one professor, Professor Johnson, who was integral into my success. In fact, you can credit Professor Johnson, who at the time was the faculty advisor for Balsa, with the reason why I graduated law school. She helped me deepen my commitment to public service through her work with the Cold Case Justice Clinic. And she showed by example and great integrity how you lead with your heart and, give back, and that your law degree can be used to make a social impact and make a change. And because of her, I have that was instilled in me. Being involved with the students as an alumni is a constant reminder that there's work to be done. And you see through their eyes the change that needs to be made, and you do what you can to assist them in that, and having a network and continue to be connected to students is important for their professional development, for our professional development. There's a lot to be learned and shared with each other. So the mentorship relationship with the students goes both ways, and I learn as much from them as they think they learn from me, or at least I hope that they learn from me.
Let me tell you why the College of Law and the Inclusion Network nominated and selected Felicia for this year's award. Felicia is very passionate about ensuring the success of Black law students. And in 2018, at Law Reunion Weekend, when she heard from the current Black law students on their desire to connect with Black alumni, Felicia decided to create Syracuse Black Law Alumni Collective. Felicia had a vision for what Syracuse Black could be, and she worked to make her vision a reality. In just a few short years, Felicia also created a need based financial aid scholarship for Black law students to eliminate financial hardship. She has personally donated to start a $150,000 scholarship named the Our Time Has Come Syracuse Black Endowed Scholarship.
I couldn't begin to put into words what the Balsa Legacy Award means to me. Um, Being recognized by your community is the highest and most genuine of appreciation. And I couldn't begin to express how grateful I am, how much of an honor it is to me, as well as, how much of a commitment I will continue to make to be worthy of the award and to continue to further the cause for social change, fairness, equity. It's a lifelong commitment, and just being recognized for my part in any of it is again lost for words, lost for words.
I was always very concerned about speaking in public because of my accent. And I think it was ML Rossi who gave a class, who taught the class that I took on appellate advocacy. Oh my God, he grilled me and he made me get up and in front of people and talk. And I used those skills and how to talk to the jury and how to talk to, I mean, every time I have to get up in front of a partners meeting, or every time I have to it's exactly, I go back to that class. Leslie Bender and Don Braveman taught a class in civil rights that was like incredible for me. all these wonderful professors. Michael Hoflick is the reason I ended up in a career in law school administration. He was extremely supportive, but Syracuse had a very big problem in my year. I was the only Latino, and there was only one African-American woman in my class. When I went to Syracuse, they basically said to me, if you come here, you can start working for Cheryl Ficarra and for me, Jose, that was Dean Hoflick, as a research assistant. And what we need you to do is to figure out what we need to do to recruit students of color to not, they were being admitted, they just were not accepting the admission and coming. I ended up being part of the student member of the faculty appointments committee that recruited Professor Maggie Chung, the first Asian American to be recruited in the faculty. There was no history of LALSA before when I got there. And I owe her to Carolyn Ribaud. She was a third-year student and the president of LALSA at that time, and she was so supportive of me.
What first comes to mind when I think of José Bahamonde-González, this year's recipient of the LALSA Alumni Award, is the exuberance and the energy with which he travels his path. Upon meeting José, you are embraced in positive energy that he uses to transcend difference, to make connections with people across multiple identities. He has lived his life with purpose, and he has engaged in his profession with intentionality that should be emulated by everyone and serves as an example to our students.
When I think of Jose, when I think of you, I think of humanity, multiple acts of humanity. He was the guy that if you were sitting by yourself, he was going to come up and put his hand out and introduce himself. Always would, come up with a smile. He has a way of connecting with people, and kindness just absolutely radiates from this guy. In terms of this award, you've been a leader in diversity, inclusion, and accessibility in that conversation long before it has become a priority as it is today.
This award is I'm delighted to be receiving it. And I'm not going to say I don't deserve it. I think I do. Absolutely. I think I've held the banner up really big. But it was Syracuse, and I would say this, and it was Cheryl Ficarra who, for the first time, as a first-year student, sent me to the Puerto Rican Legal Defense and Education Fund Law School Fair, which now is known as Latino Justice. I have been a volunteer at Latino Justice for 25 years, and I go every year. I owe that to Syracuse, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm very, very appreciative and honored to carry on the banner of LALSA at Syracuse Law.